How you
Bryce,
feel
how far do you think you've come? Obviously, it's a larger role for you this time. How far do you think you've progressed to this point?
I feel like I'm progressing well, like just coming out every day, putting in the work, getting better with the guys. I feel like I'm coming along well.
How you feel
How tough has
you've
it been
acclimated?
for you to go against like Lane, Lane and Jordan on either side? I mean, they're probably good tests for you, right?
Yeah, it's a great test for me every day. You know, they come out ready to work every day, putting in like the good work, and they have great details. They stay on top of their game. So for me to come out and practice against them every day is a great load of work for me. So
How you feel you've acclimated yourself against the run?
I feel like I'm doing good, especially with Coach Vic and Coach Wash giving me things to work on every day, staying on top of my technique and just honing in every day.
When it comes to that pass coverage part of it, at Lincoln Point, you had a chance to make a play. Are you getting more comfortable when you have to drop in coverage?
Yes, sir, definitely. It was a bit of a learning curve coming in, coming in from a team that hasn't dropped much at all, and then getting acclimated here. I feel like I've done a good job of learning everything and working with my coaches to understand the concept of the drops and coverages and stuff like that.
In terms of run defense, where do you think that you're at right now? Think you're getting acclimated to the way that Vic wants you to run in those situations?
Yeah, it's a little bit different than what I'm used to. So I've had to lean into Vic's way of coaching and how they want us to play the run versus what I've been taught in the past. So I feel like it's coming along well.
What's most different about it?
Just having to see more and not just like getting off the ball and just running, headbutting stuff. I have to be more aware and I have to be more cognizant of the things that are happening around me.
What have you liked what you've seen out of Nolan Smith so far?
Noah's a beast, and he comes out ready to work every day, regardless of if it's hot, tired, sore. You know, he's just ready to work every day, so he's coming along well.
There's some talk about whether one of the weaknesses is the edge rushers. Do you like to be questioned going into a season?
So do I like to be questioned?
Yeah, do you like there's doubters, whether it's edge rushers up to pass?
I feel like there's always doubters, regardless of if people think it's the edge rushers or whatever it may be. I feel like there's always doubters, and that's something that I've dealt with my entire career. So I'll handle it like I've handled everything else, just coming out and working hard no matter what people are saying, and just coming out and putting my best product on the field on Sundays.
Do you guys talk about it amongst yourselves at all, or?
No, we don't pay any attention to it.
Bryce,
Thanks, Bryce.
Kenny, how do you think your camp is going so far, 9 days into it?
Yeah, I think it's going really well. I'm enjoying the room I'm in, the offense, the system, the coaches. Having a lot of fun. Today was, we got our money's worth today with the heat and how much we were out there working. So I thought today was kind of our best day just from an effort and, mentality standpoint and battling.
Kenny, how you feel you're acclimating yourself to the offense so far?
Feel good. I think, what helps the success in training camp is spring and, how dedicated everyone was here, didn't miss practices, everyone was on the same page. I think that goes a really long way to having a successful training camp, and I think that's what we're doing, as a whole group offensively.
What's the toughest part about learning a new offense here as opposed to what you're used to in Pittsburgh?
I'd say kind of unlearning, the pass system. There could be some terms that may be the same, different, yardage depths for routes that you used to have that was kind of in your DNA for 2 years, and then you have to, unlearn that. So I think that's the hardest part. Learning new football comes pretty easy if you just, put in the time and the work to it. But I think unlearning the past, systems is probably the most challenging.
What do you like the most about this offense?
I think the versatility. I think, obviously the talent that we have and being able to get the ball to all those guys in multiple ways, whether we're handing it or throwing it. I think the quarterback run game, the different variations that we have there make it really hard, on a defense to really cover everything. So I think it's all credit to Kellen and Coach Nuss and how they kind of design the system and how they run it. It's been really impressive.
What do you want to accomplish in the preseason?
Just play consistently good football, clean football. Working with different guys in different, situations. You just want to go out there and execute at a high level and play clean. So I think that's what we're looking to do.
You ever played with twos in the twos in preseason?
Yeah, I played with twos and threes in preseason. So you just got to get acclimated with a lot of different groups. And it puts you in different situations. Each group plays differently, so you just have to be ready for everything.
What's it been like working in the room with Jalen, Tanner, and Will?
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. Great guys, and when you're in training camp in spring and stuff, you spend a ton of time together as quarterbacks, and it's a great group to be around. Everyone helps each other out, helps each other learn the system. When we're all pushing each other every day, so it's been a great experience.
What have you learned about Jalen during this game?
I knew he was a great athlete, but watching on tape and seeing live is different. He's got long strides and he's a lot faster, than I anticipated coming in, and he's a heck of a thrower as well. So he does it all. So he's a great guy to learn from and be in the room and just ask questions. We all bounce questions off each other and what we see in tape and practice after reps. So it's really you want a loud quarterback room, and I think that's what we have. It's been good.
Kenny, it seems like Tanner's having a good camp, Jalen's having a good camp. How much does it push, I guess, you and all the guys when the competition level's that high?
Yeah, it's important to have. You want high level, you want high competition every single day, and I think our defense is pushing us as well. Both sides going at it every day. Obviously, we're friends off the field, but as soon as we cross the line, during practice, we're going at it every period, every snap. So I think it's a credit to the culture here and how Coach Sirianni runs it. And the things that he emphasizes in our team meeting, you see out in the practice field, and you saw under the lights in the link. So, it's been a lot of fun.
Kenny, now that you've immersed yourself in it, what does a Kellen Moore offense, if it's successful, what is it trying to accomplish?
I think a balance and attacking all areas of the field. Whether it's in the pass game, the run game. We're distributing the ball to a lot of different guys in a lot of different spots. We have versatile players that can do a lot of different things. The motion and shifts to get defenses, off balance before the snap's been great. He's got a lot of different wrinkles in his offense, but it's simple for us running it. I think that's important. It's not, incredibly hard for us to pick up the offense. We just do, a lot of things in different ways, but it's the same for us, from a play standpoint. So it's been good.
Can Jordan would say in the spring, it's like learning new offense is like 95% new and everything. I mean, did you kind of feel the same type of learning curve when you first got here as far as not only learning that offense but also a new team?
Yeah. I mean, you're coming to a new place. You're learning a lot. You just take it a day at a time. They do a great job with the installations and taking us through it. Detailing every play. The detail here has been, incredible, and seeing how every position gets coached and the detail in the team room, so everyone's on the same page. It's been cool to see, and communication's been awesome as well. So, listen, it was completely new for me, so I was just taking it, day at a time, and asking guys questions when need be.
Obviously, Jalen's got that skill set, but you're pretty athletic yourself. Is there more of an emphasis on the quarterback run game here than there's been?
Yeah, I never had it, at the NFL level. So I do think that's an element that I can add as well. And you see it out of practice, taking advantage on some runs where you're getting 10 or 15 yards. Those are big plays, and it hurts a defense in a third down situation when you can take off and move the chains and stay on the field. So that's been a lot of fun getting involved in. The RPO game has been a lot of fun. I haven't done that in a long time. Finding easy completions and easy ways to get explosives. It's been good.
Kellen has very recent quarterback experience in the league. How have you found that kind of, influences the way that he communicates with you or teaches you?
Yeah, he sees it through our lens because he's played and he's been through it. The fact that he understands what we're seeing and how we feel, on certain plays. Having that mindset and that perspective, is really beneficial for a quarterback. And, you're kind of talking the same language, and he understands the looks that you're looking at, on tape or in practice. So the communication's fairly easy, when it's like that.
You mentioned how in Kellen's offense, it seems like everybody, if you dress out, you're going to be eligible. You might get the ball thrown your way. With the talent you guys have on offense, the receivers, the backs all catch the ball, the tight ends, kind of meshes together. How dangerous can that make the offense where the ball can go anywhere?
Yeah, that's what you want, offensively. It's really what you want. It's kind of like a pick your poison. If you try to take one away, somewhere there's going to be a one-on-one, or it's going to be a light box to run the football. So it's just kind of how the system's built, the kind of players that we have. As long as we continue to progress the way we are, it's going to be tough to stop.
You and
Taylor McKee, what have you noticed about him just watching from your lens?
Yeah, he's a really smart player. He's great, another great guy to have in the room. And every time we come off, we got all the quarterbacks get together, talk about what we see. We all have different inputs on certain plays, on what we could have done better or what we did well. So it's awesome. It's been a lot of fun. They're great guys, and it's a lot of fun to be a part of a QB room that likes to enjoy it every day. I think every guy loves being in that room, and we're all having fun pushing each other. So it's been good.
Kenny, you and Jalen and Tanner have done a good job staying away from the interception, from the mistake. Has there kind of been an extra emphasis on doing that, staying away from turnovers and making good decisions?
Yeah, I think Coach Sirianni pushes that to us in the team meeting, and just as a whole, protect the football. You have a great shot at winning football games. Vice versa, the defense is trying to get turnovers. So yeah, you want to protect the football. You want to take shots when we're there. I think we're all understanding the system really well, where if our 1 and 2 isn't there, we're finding our 3 and 4 pretty quickly. I think that's helping us stay out of trouble. So it's just continue to progress with the offense and be smart with the football.
You mentioned you guys push each other in the room. Is there any globalized message that y'all kind of go through or more?
No, I think it's just a common understanding that we're all just out here competing, pushing each other. It's a lot of fun. We compete with the nets down there. We compete, doing anything. So, and Coach Nuss does a great job of running the room, and we got great meetings and get a lot out of those. So it's been a great experience.
You talk to us.
Is it more than just the nets that y'all compete at? What else do you?
We need something maybe we could get something in the QB room going. We'll think of something. We'll add something to it.
You talked to us in the spring. Saquon said you're his golf buddy.
Yeah.
What were those golf outings like, and how well did you get to know Saquon?
They're a lot of fun. So I was awful to start the summer, really bad, 108 bad. So I got lessons and started getting down to 92 by the end of the summer. So it was a lot of fun, and Saquon helped me get better a lot. He's been playing for a while now, and Will Greer's been fun. It's just a way to get to know each other off the field. You spend a lot of time with the guys in the facility. It's good to get to know them outside the facility, and we got a lot of great guys on this team. I think that's why the culture is so strong.
What's his golf game like?
He was low 90s, high 80s. I'm pretty sure. He has some of those days he could be awful off the tee and then hit a 250 3-wood and be on the green, and then you lose the hole to him, and it's incredibly frustrating. So I'm excited to get back out there with him. Hopefully after camp we can get back at it.
It seems like you've connected with Grant a lot throughout training camp. But what have you liked about him as a receiver as he continues to develop in that?
Yeah, he's a great player. He reminds me of Pat Fryermuth a lot with his style of play and how he gets open. He always finds a way to get open and find soft spots and zones. So I love when I have him in the huddle. I'm very confident in him and what he brings to the table. That's with all the tight ends, though. I think it's a really deep group, and guys bring a lot of different things to the table. They all run really well and block and stick their nose in there. So it's been a great tight end room. Thank you, guys.
How have you approached training camp this year? I mean, as far as your role and what do you think your chances are, maybe moving up to you or anything like that? I mean, how do you approach it?
Yeah, I think for me, it's just improving every day. I went over goals with some of the coaches before training camp, and really the biggest goal for me was prove to my teammates, the coaches, and everybody that I'm somebody that they can rely on whenever they need me to. So I'm just trying to prove that every day in how I work and how I play, and just my connection with the guys on the team. We have a lot of great guys that love to compete, and so I'm just trying to get better every day.
Initially, getting adjusted to an offense, how much has changed in the offseason for you?
Yeah, there's been a decent amount that has changed. So a lot more time just in the QB room, just studying plays and getting the insides and outs. I feel like the thing that separates good players and great players are the little details of when, it's this coverage, you're going to stem inside a couple of yards, and, we know it's a game of inches. So when you can, when you know those things, and when Nuss says, when then you can go out and rip it and have more confidence in yourself. I feel like a player always plays a lot better when things just happen, by second nature, and you're not thinking and having so many things that you have to process. You can just go out, you've seen it, you've ran through it in your mind so many times, you just go out and perform and play.
You have new faces, coaches and players in the QB room. How is it different?
How is it different?
Yeah,
I feel like there's a lot more, I feel like, connecting outside of the locker room, and like Will and like Kenny was saying, we'll go golfing, and we've gone to Top Golf, and just different things that we do outside. Jay did that retreat down in Florida with a bunch of guys, and so just a good time to get everybody together, because Sirianni will always say you play better when you're playing for your brother or you're playing for someone that you love. So having that connection outside of football, I think, is really big, and I think we've done a really good job. And I think Jalen's been the leader of that. I feel like that's one huge step that he's had from last year, is really trying to get to know guys outside of football and really have that close relationship with them. And so props to him for making that effort.
What do you feel like your role is when you're not on the field? What do you feel like you can do to help this team?
Yeah, I think be another set of eyes for Jalen. When he comes out, Jalen is very knowledgeable of the game, and he wants to ask questions. He wants to improve and know how he can do better. So he might be like, what was the Nichols leverage on that, or what did they see post snap because my eyes were to the left. And so just being able to give those answers to him, and so he can go out there and play fast and have all the answers when he goes back out there.
Going back to your last year when you were going into your first preseason game in Baltimore, like how far do you see yourself advancing from that point to where you are now?
Yeah, I feel a lot more confident just in the system, just having one more year under my belt, just knowing kind of what to expect, what's going to happen, kind of going back to playing, just having things come naturally. I feel like I can just go out there and think less and play a little more naturally. So I'm confident and excited to go out there and prove that and show that.
You mentioned that from Kenny Pickett.
Sorry?
What have you learned from Kenny Pickett?
Yeah, Kenny's a great dude. I mean, as you can tell, he's one of those guys that's really easy to get to know really quickly. He's a student of the game. Obviously, I knew a little bit more of the offense, but then with all the different changes, we've been in the room talking to each other. Hey, what do you think about this? How would you read this? What have you done in the past? And how can we kind of merge that into offense now? And so just having those conversations back and forth and how we can be on the same page as a quarterback room and grow and progress.
You mentioned being a second. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, somewhat off topic. What's the significance of the Brazil game for you, and what role is Brazil playing in your life?
Yeah. So for those of you that don't know, I served 2 missions down in Brazil. I lived in São Paulo for about a month, and then I lived in Curitiba, the state of Paraná, for 2 years. So I was really excited when I found out that the NFL was just having a game in Brazil, and then I found out that it was going to be the Eagles. So I was obviously pretty excited about that. I've been doing interviews in Portuguese. Just really excited to go back. I've been hitting up a bunch of my friends. I know some people that are going to try to come to the game. And so it means a lot. I'm excited for the guys to kind of be around that culture and just things like that. It was funny, last year in the Kansas City game, it came out that we were talking about me living in Brazil, and AJ was just asking me different, like, how do you say this in Portuguese or this? And it was just funny to try to hear him pronunciate different things. So it'll be fun for the whole team to kind of experience the culture. It's an amazing culture. And so I'm really excited for everyone to kind of dip into that.
How do you think they'll embrace the NFL?
I think they'll definitely love it. I think anytime that you give love to that, it's similar to the people of Philadelphia. Anytime that you show a little bit of love, they're gonna love you back 10 times more. And so just having an NFL team there and present, the fans are gonna love it. I've had hundreds of people, just when we announced that we were gonna go play in a game, hundreds of Brazilians following me on social media, hitting me up, asking me questions. And so I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. To be down there.
Were there a lot of games on down there, or was it just like a game of the week or something?
As far as football?
Yeah.
So when I was down there, mainly, I don't know if it's changed, it's been a couple years, but usually each state would have a team, and it was kind of interesting because it was kind of like a semi-pro team, but because there weren't so many football programs, it was kind of everybody played for that one team in that one state. So you'd have high school kids playing with 45-year-olds and so it was an interesting dynamic. But it was crazy because a lot of them would learn plays on Madden or whatever. So a lot of them would learn English just so they can use, football terminology. So you'd have them, speak Portuguese and then be like, oh, I'm going to do like a stick route. And then you're like, hearing Portuguese and then fade. And you're like, oh, okay, well, yeah, that makes sense. So yeah, it's really interesting, and just, I'm excited to go back. I remember them like, draw up a play that you would do against cover 2 or whatever. And so I'm really close to the Curitiba Crocodiles. When I was down there, I was able to go to a couple of their practices and talk with them. And so a lot of their players have reached out and are excited to go to the game. And have an NFL game in Brazil.
What's the must-do thing, the must-do food that you're like when the guys are asking you about it? Because Brazilian food is so good. Like there's
Amazing.
What is it that you're like, we gotta do this, we gotta try this?
That's a good question.
Thank you.
I heard we're going to like a cultural event. I have no idea what that means.
Okay.
I'm so excited to see what that is, just because the culture is so rich. I'm excited for the guys to meet like the people and how welcoming they are. But like you said, the food is pretty amazing. Like for those of you that don't know, like you go to a place and they bring out the meat on the stick and they slice it off. Like that's like very common as for like a steakhouse, I guess, which would be the equivalent here. And it's really good, really cheap. A lot of meat's produced from Brazil, and so the meat's just really fresh and it's awesome. So I'm excited for the guys to go down and try that.
Players on both teams who are going to Brazil, who have on social media, on podcasts, kind of wonder why we're going. They're running with some rumors. Have you kind of played the role of like quelling some of those anxieties or fears within this own locker room, and what's that look like?
Yeah, I wouldn't say necessarily too many guys are too worried about the whole like danger aspect or anything, but you know, it's a far trip, and so some guys are thinking, you know, we got to rest up and be ready to go. It's not going to be a super long trip, so when we get there, we're literally going to play a game in a few hours, not a few hours, but a day or two later, and so guys are just feeling, you know, we got to get ready and be ready to ball. It's not like we can go on a plane. We're going to have a week to get ready, get acclimated to things. Like we're going to have to be able to ready to play. So I would say it's more of those things. I was talking to some, because a lot of people are like, oh, you can't wear green. It's the Eagles and the Packers. I was talking to some of my friends in Brazil, and they're like, well, of course you can't wear green because it's the rivalry. That's just like very normal to them. Like, and we're just like, oh my gosh, if you wear green, then it's the big thing. But they're like, yeah, like you're playing in Corinthians Stadium. They hate Palmeiras. Like you can't wear green, and that's just very normal for that culture. So it's different. You see both sides of things, which I think is really cool.
Thanks, Darren.
Appreciate you guys.
Thanks, Darren.